I think a standout that hasn't been mentioned, and it happened in that 10-0 game, which unfortunately got away from the Marlins bullpen. But I think the standout, maybe not a standout, but an encouraging performance, I would say, is Max Meyer. I still like Max Meyer. Max Meyer's good. And I think he proved it in this game. He didn't have either one of his new pitches. He didn't have the sweeper. He did not have the sinker. He had to rely mostly on the slider, which he placed very nicely. Got a quality start. So it's nice to know that even if this pitcher doesn't have his best stuff, he can still go out and give you a quality start with 8 strikeouts. So it's something that's going to get lost in the sauce because it's a quality start in a 10-0 game because the bullpen came in behind him and kind of blew everything up. But still a good performance for Max Meyer, who continues to have a good start to the season despite everything going on around him, despite injuries, despite, injuries to his confidence, previously before this year. This guy is still good and is proving that he can still be a starting pitcher. While there was a lot of doubt around him still being a starting pitcher, he's proving that he could still do it, even if he's not at his best. So a good start for Max Meyer. I like this a lot.
Yeah. I want to check in from the garage to see for Sean on Max, because he got off to a good start last year. Of course, his first few outings of last season, he was the most effective guy in the Marlins rotation. They still optioned him down to AAA. He came back up on the other side and just wasn't effective. But you dug in, going back to spring training, into some of the tangible changes he's made to his pitch usage and pitch mix and pitch characteristics compared to last year. Do you think this is a more legit guy than last year? Do you think this could be, unlike last year, that this is something he could sustain deeper into the year?
Most likely, I do believe so. But you look at, like, for example, the new pitch they added, the sweeper. I mean, it's being hit on a 1-dot slug right now. It's being killed. The fastball, the four seam's still getting murdered. But as Carver pointed out, that slider that he's known for, that 70 grade, 80 grade slider. I mean, that's just been carving up opponents. So that's good enough to get him in a rotation. His changeup has been great, although he's only throwing it to lefties, which is pretty interesting. So right now he's definitely just leaning into that, that more gyro slider, but it's worked out for him. I mean, it's getting a 47% whiff. That's insane for a singular pitch. But, you'd like to see him definitely start to get the fastball more incorporated and hopefully, get the sweeper gets better results since that's his new pitch. But the changeup and slider have been great for him so far. So I think, looking forward, I think there's reason to believe that this good stretch will last longer than it did to begin the season last year.
Yeah, I think I have this handy dandy chart that I looked at for the first time today. The differences in his pitch usage compared to last year, right there, where it's a slightly less dependence on the slider. It's a lot less four seamers. And what he's done is he's made that sweeper, that second slightly slower breaking ball, a bigger part of the mix. And he's throwing the sinker more consistently as well. When he throws the four seam, the velo is up from where it was last year, but it's not diversifying his pitch mix. Like, this is something we see this every spring, right? Where guys come into camp with all these new pitches and they're so excited about it. And then the question is, are they actually going to be effective with those pitches? And are they going to have the conviction to use them once the real games begin? And so far, so good with that. Look at that. That's 5 different pitches that he's using at least 10% of the time right now for a guy that a lot of people labeled as a future reliever. And I think still right now, he has to disprove that moving forward, just given the time missed due to injury and just the track record that suggests that he kind of had a limited repertoire. But the work that he put in this offseason, early returns are pretty encouraging right now. So I wanted to bring him up, especially because he's going to be pitching again in this series, lined up for the series finale against the Mets as well, after already pitching against the Braves in this outing. So good test for him back to back going in there.